Hi, this is IK. Welcome to how to see when a component finished rendering. I asked Chat GPT how to see when a component finished rendering in functional components, and the answer was, in functional components, here it is, you can use the useEffect hook to achieve the same behavior as component did mount in class components. The useEffect hook is called after every render of the component, so you can use it to run some code after the component has finished rendering. Again, the useEffect hook is called after every render of the component. After every render of the component. It means useEffect hook is called when rendering of component finished. And we have here a script import useEffect, and in this place inside function create this code, include this useEffect function, but instead console log I use alert box, and let's go to C. Here it is. In every component I have 4 components. App.js, it is a root component, and blog post menu left, blog post menu, and blog post.js, 4 components. And in every of them I script copy this useEffect, and I used alert box, you look at, and in every alert box I use name of that component. Component blog post menu left has finished rendering. Alert is very interesting because he stop processing, and we have a time to look at and read what is in alert box, and to see order of the rendering of component. And look at app.js, also insert useEffect, and here it is, but name is app.js. Blog post also, blog post menu, and blog post menu left. Let's go to see here. Refresh. Look at, there is nothing on the screen, only alert box. It means that processing is stopped, and we can read component blog post menu left has finished rendering. It is a component would stay directly, not by index.js, not by rendering, or not by routers, but directly stay in app.js. It is child of app.js, directly child of app.js, and it is first component in order of finishing rendering. Blog post menu left, here it is. App.js, and here it is. Blog post menu left. It is on a root component. It is child of root component. But child of root component also coming here. And we see that it will be after this, rendering after this one. And in outlet, first component, what coming is this one, blog post submenu, this one, blog post submenu. And we can look at in index.js. Here it is. Blog post menu. You look at it is in index here. It is root in index, and it's coming in outlet. And I hope. And the second is blog post. So it is when we click on some title of post. But look at now. We will see now that all components must be finished rendering before any C on the screen. Let's go to C. And after OK, process go ahead. And now blog post menu. It is blog post menu. It is has finished rendering. It is in outlet. It is first component what coming in outlet. Like it is visible here in index.js. We see that here it is blog post menu. Blog post menu is first in outlet. And now we finish. There is finished blog post menu left, finished blog post menu, and when I click now OK, we hope to see something on the screen, to see home page, but not. Let's go to see. Waiting. Routing blog posts, blog post singular, single. Here it is. And the blog post menu, okay, look at component app.js has finished rendering. Okay, I forget blog posts, okay. And now we see script, we see our application on the screen. I forget blog post singular. Yeah, there is, here it is. Here it is. Okay, now when I click some of these, yes, now I see blog post.js has finished rendering, and it means that rendering, we see now rendering for to see one completion. It is menu left and menu, blog posts menu, plural, and blog post menu left. When finished rendering left and menu, this, we see that side. We can set when one visualization finished, we have alert, but only when we call single blog post, single post, only that we have alert component blog post rendering. Why it is? Why we don't have finished rendering all components and that and after that to see something on the screen, because single post, blog post, React application don't know which blog post rendering, because blog post, singular, blog post, single post, must use params, must see what we click. It is we can said I must ask in chat GPT, does it params state? Does it params state? Does it? No. No, it is not state, because okay, let's go to see. Here it is. Here it is. I ask does here ID is state? No, ID is not state. Look at here. Not state in this example. In the given example, ID is a constant variable declared using the const keyword. It is assigned the value of params ID, which is typically your URL parameter that is passed to the component as prop. Excellent. It is prop. Passed to component as prop. State, on the other hand, is way to store and manage, and no interesting that, but you can read and you can ask. It coming in component as props. Of course, it is something from outside. It is from web address coming, that parameter, and coming from outside to component. And it is coming as properties of components. It is short, we said that short props. Okay, ID is props. And when singular, one post depend about what we clicked, and after our click, React know this, React declare this variable, this object ID, and know what we clicked, and can start rendering. Rendering start also when something change, when change state, if change properties, and if there is some event. But here changed, we have new variable, we have properties changed, properties ID, and after that we have rendering post, blog post, and we see that here it is. Again, home, look at component blog post menu has finished rendering. Okay, look at now. When we first time open, we have rendering of this component. It is left, menu left, first time. And after that, we have rendering of this one right side. This one of right side. It is blog post's menu. Menu left first, menu. But now when we click home, look at now, don't have not rendering. Home, not rendering. Why? Because virtual rendering create this what we see. It is actual document object model. Virtual document object model create actual document object model. Actual document object model is that what we see now on the screen. We can look at it. F12 element. This is what we see now. What is web? It is title, it is left side. Here is right side. Also, okay, it is this what we see now in elements. It is actual document object model. Document object model. Who produced that? That produced virtual document object model. Virtual document model I can see. It is something what running inside of it produce our React application running and produce virtual document object. We can see page source. In last video we look at that. View page source. It is a document object model of single page application. It is in index.html. It is one document object model. Second is actually to see. Second is this document object model, what we see on the screen. And we see that concretely. We see that here. It is actually a document object model. And when we click home again, nothing happened because virtual document object model look at on actually document object model and compare. Because when I click home, it is something what now running, what now we see. We now see home, and actual document object model now is home, and there is no difference between actual document object and virtual document object. It means this moment, here it is actual document object model is equal virtual document object model. And when I click now, and because of that there is no on the screen, nothing changed. But when we click on this, look at, we have component blog post JS has finished rendering. Single post has finished, okay, we see that single post. On other, this will be rendering again when I click other title. Yes, must be. Here it is. It means that how I click, how I change clicking my shoes. It means that props ID props in a single post is changed. is mutate, and I must is change. I must single post must be rendering again. Okay. Again. Okay, blog post is rendering. Now, when I click home, that would be rendering left, because left is on the screen. Menu, blog menu, blog post menu on left. Now, he would not be rendering. Only this one, menu, blog posts menu, this one would be rendering. Let's go to click home. Home. Blog posts menu is rendering. Not left, blog post menu left. Only blog post menu, because only this position in outlet, element outlet, content of element outlet is changed, and virtual object, virtual document object model now is changed, but still not visible. I must click OK and will be visible. It means that this moment, before I click OK, virtual document object model, there is a blog post menu, compare with actually what have a blog post. And when I click OK and process start continue, we will see on the screen, because virtual document object model compare with the actual document object model, and there is a difference. Because of that, we have a re-rendering. What re-rendering? Only not left, but only this, what is web development. It is one post. We rendering this part, we rendering outlet, what is in outlet, okay? And in outlet it is blog post menu, blog post menu. Now, if I click home, nothing rendering. And if I click on some title, some heading, okay, we have a rendering of blog post. Okay, we see blog post. Virtual, compare with actually, and if there is a difference, here was difference, virtual become actually. Now home, okay, only blog post menu, okay. Thank you for watching this video.